go.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the 38th annual St. Valentine's Day Regatta. We are about to start our Masters, Women's Masters at 10 o'clock here. We have the lineup. They are sitting on their machines in their various places, homes, gyms.
All right, and we just got the stop rowing alert. I'm Eric Divan here with Chris Ives. We are excited to be your MCs today. We are looking at 6 awesome events on this first race here. Women's lightweight 30 to 39, women's 40 to 40, women's 40 to 50 to 59, excuse me. All the way up to lightweight 60 to 69 is going to be in this heat, or I guess final, right?
It is a final, and yep, we've grouped them together. And here we go. They are again sitting ready. They're color coded on the screen. If you're looking at the screen in their various groups, I think youngest to oldest at the bottom.
Absolutely. And Chris, this is the kind of the moment of silence moment when you're sitting on the erg right now.
Yeah, well, it's all about to happen. They're sitting ready.
These athletes are jazzed. They are ready to rumble for this 2,000-meter race.
That is correct. Staying relaxed. Cool customers, all of them, I'm sure.
And we are off. We have a fiery start, looking like we might have a tech issue with our lightweight 30 to 39 in lane 1. But all of the other racers have launched successfully. We've got a pretty competitive start here coming into the first 100 meters with Rebecca Clark coming in strong with a solid 1:52 start. That is going to be on pace for a sub 8-minute 2K, a very good time. And we also have a fiery start from our very own Julie Hansen, rating at a 29 stroke rate. That's a very strong rate for this 2K. Coming in at a solid 1:55 there as well. All right.
Julie Hansen, they're all seasoned rowers here. They seem to know how to settle into their rhythm and their pace. They have that three-way lead. Those rowers out in front are sub 2-minute splits for the in this first 500 meters, and the others presumably have their paces that they are want to settle in on. They have it established now, and they are running strong.
Absolutely. And we're coming into the first quarter of the race. We call this once we get to 1,500, this is kind of the middle 1,000 here. This is where you kind of decide whether or not the pace that you've selected is going to be what carries you through the finish. And it looks like these rates were settling at just under 30, or around 30 for most of our rowers here. Solid stroke rate. And we are seeing, yeah, absolutely. It looks like the lead positions are going to be coasting in at sub 8-minute times with a pretty solid distribution coming through the back right there. Looking at still lane 5 in second place. Lane, I guess that's lane 2. It's tough to tell. Rebecca Clark up there in boat number 3, holding a strong 30 stroke rate and a 1:55, 1:56. That is a nice quick time for the 42-49 Women's Open. And it is.
As you watch this, the lead rowers, they are in a good battle. Julie Hansen, hanging with these younger rowers, that's a feat in itself right there, and she's doing very well. Steady on her 1:58, so I know that's very solid for her, and she looks like she's holding that well. I like to look back, too, at the 4th, 5th, and 6th place. There's a battle going on back there where they, again, you have younger and older rowers duking it out together. Older rowers holding their own against these younger rowers.
Absolutely. We're looking ARC. Tassana Landy from Sub 7 Earth Team, and Jeanette Zimmer, another representative from EARC.
Yeah.
Really an impressive battle happening here
Yeah.
right now. All within, it looks like about 5 meters of one another. Coming into 1,100 meters to go. This is sort of the
Dark territory.
the dark territory.
This is where things you have some self-doubt, but hopefully you pick the right pace to sit on, and you're carrying it. You're going to be able to hang on and get through the dark area. That is the area where you're still a little bit from home, going through halfway, and now you really got to just sustain and maintain what you have going.
Absolutely. This is where you start to see the more, given the age range that we have here for these athletes, all of these athletes are likely very experienced rowers, so they will know their pace.
Yeah.
But this is where you'll often see some of the less mature, less prepared athletes sort of start to waver. You might see some dropping stroke rates, some higher splits, but we are not seeing that here today. Everybody seems to be holding the pace that they have selected within a few splits. Excellent racing out here today.
Really good. And the leaders going through 800 into the 700 area. This is they're about in the third quarter here. I want to also draw attention back to the people in the back there. Naomi Woodward from Cortland Community Rowing. She is, we know her from the area. She led off our brick challenge that went on in January. She's been training and has a good base, and she appears to know her pace and is maintaining her 215s, 214s, and the 30 strokes per minute. Absolutely. And then Leanna Bradley from the same club holding her pace as well. But going up to the front, look at that. Look at that. Our Julie Hansen holding stalking.
There we go.
Jamie O'Reilly and sitting on her 158s, 159s.
Really going stroke for stroke here, Chris. They're both holding it around the 28:30. Actually, Julie seems to be understroking Rebecca Clark by a hair. But really just trading blows here.
Yeah.
Coming into 500 meters to go, it's going to be
they go.
Nail biter.
They are going to start to turn the screw, and they are turning the screw, and Julie's hanging right on her, what we call wood on wood. She's got her bow ball on her boat. She's a few meters behind. Back here for the third bronze medal, we see the Jen Bogenriff and Katie Cody. Mm-hmm. Katie Cody in third place.
Still
actually Jeanette Zimmer there in lane 13, really holding on there. They're duking it out. This is good.
There you go, Jeanette.
And I want to point out Tassana Landy, who's right in the hunt for that bronze, is racing down in Florida. She was in the Canadian National Indoor Championships last week, and she wanted to try her hand at it again. She is a lightweight.
Awesome to see the lightweights represented out here. As a lightweight myself, really appreciate that. And wow, we are down to the wire here, folks. This, in the last 250 minutes, is the kind of close your eyes and pray moment.
Yep.
Where you are just feeling every ounce of a race plan that has, it seems at this point, been well executed by every athlete here today in this event.
They are steady and holding steady. Julie still stalking Jamie O'Reilly there for the first place position. Oh, they're lowering the boom. I can see those splits going down. I know what they're going through. They're feeling the burn. But you got to know that you see light at the end of the tunnel, and they're going to close the deal right now.
And Rebecca Clark looks like she is swinging through at a strong 30. She's brought her split down to a 152.
Jamie Riley coming to the line here. Here we go. And bam.
There it is. Rebecca Clark from ARC
744.8. Julie Hansen. Boom.
Julie Hansen at number 2. Another sub-8 time. Very impressive, ladies.
Very good.
All right, and it is now a race for third, and it is looking
Jeanette
like we are going to have Jeanette Zimmer coming in from EARC.
Bam! Look at that, 8:07, right on it.
Nice time.
Katie Cody, 8:11.
Here we are.
Jen Bogenriff, 8:13.
Wonderful. And we are definitely seeing some of the folks that are coming in now, jacking up that rate,
Boom,
getting all that.
Gisanalande, very congratulations on that 818 lightweight.
Wonderful. Wow. Very impressive.
Very good.
Very impressive.
Give
splits
some of
here.
our juniors a run for them.
Yeah, it is great to see some awesome racing like this for the first event of the day. And we are having Denise Romeo come in.
And here comes Naomi Woodard, and she is again leader of the Brick Challenge, our local challenge during January, and she's closing out the last couple of meters here, and boom, she's done with a beautiful 9 even
9
flat. Nice job.
That's
She
what I'm
held her
talking about.
215s all the way.
All right. We are swinging through.
And we'll let Leanna Bradley finish off her last bit here. Nice job. Cheer her home. She's also from Cortland Rowing and looking very good. Of course, we can't see how their form is and everything, but they're just steady, and that's a good sign that they've maintained a good rhythm.
No catastrophic stops, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Very good. Nice job, everyone. What a great way to start off our day here. So the winning time for that event with Rebecca Clark from ARC at 7:44.8. And the top 3 times, I believe, the top 2 times are under 8 minutes.
Yep. And that
very impressive.
I know because Julie Hansen is with Pelham. That's a good time for her. I think she was in the 740s last year, and it doesn't get any easier every year. And with this kind of unusual year, we haven't all been able to train as we normally have been able to. But so a 751, really good, Julie, and Jeanette, who was our 744, Rebecca Clark, very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Very impressive. And I do want to shout out our 3rd place, Jeanette Zimmer, who's coming in 60 to 69. Correct me if I'm wrong, that is our veteran category, correct?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
That's impressive. Coming in at close to 8 minutes.
I mean, that's
very good.
Yeah, that rivals many of the junior times we know. So, I hope some of the juniors are watching this to say, wow, the Masters are nothing to be
nothing to sneeze at. And
nothing to sneeze at.
Chris, that's actually one of the things that I really love about the sport of rowing. It's something that you can just keep on doing.
Yeah.
And I've been at races where I've seen, I've actually helped folks who are in their 80s get out on the water, taking out the old Carl Douglas. For you folks out there, that's an old wooden boat, very beautiful shell.
Yeah.
And they need a little help getting it onto the water, but once they sit into that seat, they just zip right on out, and it is a wonderful thing to see. Real lifelong passions that we're seeing here today.
Yeah. Yep. Indeed. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I have raced in the Masters world. And when you go to Masters Nationals and you see some of these 70, 60-year-olds just laying it down like unbelievable. I mean, on the water doing, 330,000s. I mean, we race 1,000, but still, this is in singles. And
very impressive.
Really good. All right. Again, well done by the Masters women's category there. I hope they all enjoyed it. Nothing else. It's just nice to be able to say you've done your 2K for the winter season. I'm
nice
sure
to have it
while
under the
they're
belt.
recovering, there's a great sense of relief that that's out of the way and they've done it.
Hell of a way to start a Saturday, Chris.
Oh, yeah. But I always get sort of a mild high from afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Like people say it's endorphin or whatever. It's just you've really opened up the lungs and everything. And once you finally do recover and you're on your feet again, it feels really good.
All right. That's it's the thrill of the fight too, a little bit.
Okay.
Definitely, there's a difference between having like a 2K that you're just doing maybe behind closed doors and something that you are doing out here live in front of folks. It is it's a race, and you leave feeling wonderful.
Yeah. So next up will be the Masters Men, which and again, I hope everybody's able to connect. This is, we know there are issues and people trying to do it. Ultimately, it shouldn't be too hard, but it is hard to get everything lined up and everything. But I hope that the masters have been able to get themselves situated with a good machine, good cables, good laptop, good connection.
Good airflow wherever they are.
Exactly. Oxygen. And there we have it. Up on the screen, we are now looking at the Masters men, all grouped together again from lightweight men's 30 all the way up to men's 70. Harold, wow.
Harold Visser.
We
got a veteran here.
I know Harold Visser. He is he's a professor at City College, English Lit. Look at his bio. He talks about a new piece that he has out. Tom Phillips, veteran, second silver.
Does Harold go by Hap by any chance?
Yeah, yes,
he does. I had no idea Hap was in this race. I'll have to say hi to him later.
Yeah. Tom Phillips. He's a silver medalist, world champion from Crash Bees. This is a tune-up for him. He'll be undoubtedly right in the hunt. My brother Ed.
Yeah, we have an interesting category here. Two family members.
I've been informed that one of them won't be able to make it because he wasn't able to get to a machine today. And so Ed is in it. But I will tell you, Ed has been training, but he is also recovering from some health issues and is back in the saddle here.
That's
and
great to see.
Looking good. Michael Plunkett is a civilian rower. We have from Pelham here, and he comes to Elizabeth's class. Elizabeth Calder runs the studio classes here.
Sure, we're gonna have a proud coach in the room today, and of course, I gotta give a nod to my old man in lane 12 here, Jim Divan, who is coming in to just do a 2K that I don't think he was expecting to do at the beginning of the week, but here he is. We're glad to have him. Jim is in some serious long-distance shape. He actually just finished through hiking the Appalachian Trail, first year of his retirement, in the class of 2020 with my sister, actually. Great bonding trip for them. 5.5 months of hiking from Georgia all the way up to Katahdin in Maine, and he is ready to get back into erg fitness.
And you told me earlier that he took up rowing later, like in his 40s or 30s?
Yeah. In his early 40s, Jim started rowing and really just fell into the sport. He is a successful master single sculler, and knowing my old man, he is going to be doing it for many years to come.
That is great. We're jumping around here. I'm going to go though and start at the youngest there, Chris Calamano, who joined us from Staten Island, and he's an endurance athlete. Has run Leadville in Colorado at altitude. That's a 100-mile run, I believe.
Oh man!
And Adam Spence, he's not new to rowing. He rowed in high school and some in college, but not officially in college. He rowed in houseboats at Harvard. I'll tell you that. But he is good to go. I've seen him in the city. He's ready to go get it, and I expect that he will do very well today. Jim Hughes. Jim, where do I know Jim from? I'm sure he's lined up. Mark Caldwell is part of our Pelham Masters program, and he is good to go. Although he told me that he wanted me to get the EMTs ready for this afterwards.
That's how you know we're dealing with a professional here.
Yeah. John Crilly, I'm sorry I don't have all the bios right in front of me.
John is coming into us, another rower from Florida, Sub-7 Indoor Rowing Club, I believe. Just checking that spreadsheet here. Absolutely. John Crilly coming to us from down south. Hope the weather is warm, but your AC is cool.
Yeah. And who do we have?
Todd Michael? Do we have a Todd Michael up here?
Yes,
we do. Michael Todd. There it is. Michael Todd is Cortland Community Rowing Association.
Good. Thank you, Cortland, for showing up again.
Representing.
Yeah. George Wolf. Do you have that there?
Yes, sir. We are looking at Oars Incorporated and Albany, a fellow New Yorker out here. Representing from somewhere in the state, perhaps.
Yeah, Albany has strong rowing because James Ball is from the Albany area, and he is a killer. I don't want to scare anybody, but he is very good, and he will go fast, so be aware.
Keep an eye on this one.
Yep, Tom and James will be Tom Phillips, and James will be duking it up. I imagine. So Joseph Staccato, Joseph LeMay, and here we go. They're sitting ready. We are getting ready to launch this.
Here it is.
Staying relaxed.
This is all the adrenaline is loaded up right now, which is actually a good thing. You get about 100 meters of free speed, we call it, out of that first moment, fresh out of the gate.
Yep.
Very exciting time.
You don't want to jump on it. Oh, here we go. We'll let them go. They're sitting ready.
All right. This is definitely going to be one of our biggest events of the day, I think.
It's a nice group.
Very excited.
My brother's sitting easy. He was an Olympic silver medalist in '84, and he knows how to sit at the start. And
go get him, Jim.
Butterflies still come up, even for the seasoned rowers, though. They're sitting ready. My brother Michael, again, he wasn't able to make it, but he's a solid rower, too. But he admits he has not been training very well. That's not why he didn't make it, but here we go.
Sometimes these are wake-up calls.
Stay relaxed.
Ready.
Shoulders relaxed. They're sitting ready.
Attention. Row.
And they're out of the blocks.
We are off, folks. There it is. Fast start from some of our 50 to 59 folks out here. Ed Ives coming out of the gate as well at a 1:35. Now that is a good use of those first 100 meters right there. All right, we should expect to see these folks settling in within the next 100 meters. Again, similar age distribution to the last crew we had coming out. We are going to be looking at some very experienced athletes today, Chris.
Yep, we are. I'm having a little screen trouble here, but this is rather than I don't know what's going on. There we go. Yeah, my brother Ed, right in the hunt there. He is 60 plus, so he's leading the 60-year-olds and hanging with the 50-year-olds.
There we go, charging through on pace for a 6:44, I believe, which is a pretty great time. If he holds on to a sub 1:45, he is going to be cruising in at under 7 minutes, which I think a lot of these guys are going to be looking to do
You're going to see some under 7s here for sure. Well, not for sure, but you're going to see, they're going to be.
Well, we got Jim Hughes coming through here, putting up a pretty impressive start going into that first 500 meters. He is on pace to be at a 6:36, an excellent time for somebody within the 40 to 49 category right there. But we have a solid distribution moving through the 50 to 59 category as well. James Ball is leading the pack here with a 1:39 split. That'll bring him in at a 6:36 if he can hold on to that, Chris.
He's good for that. If I know Jim, he's solid, and he will stay with that pace. He knows how to row, and he knows how to pace himself and settle in on to his flight path.
Some mature athletes here for sure. We have John Crilly. John was down from Florida with us, as I recall, and he is coming in at an impressive 1:47, holding on to that time there.
Yeah.
And we have Michael Todd and Joe Staccato coming in at 1:53 and 1:50.
This is good.
This is a good race here.
Don't underestimate some of those people hanging back in the 150s. They may just know something we don't know. They're just biding their time, and they may pull up forward. But we do have Jim Hughes out in front. Solid 139s, it looks like, and that's going to put him inside 640 if he sticks with that. He's averaging 139s right now.
All right. Let's take a look at some of these rates here, because this is where you start to see the difference between some of the lightweight guys and some of the heavyweight guys. We have up top Chris Calamano, hanging and banging at a 34, which is quite a.
He's a 145er, again, a distance runner. He's new to this. This is maybe it's his first official 2K.
So this is his debut.
This is his debut, and look at him hanging with the seasoned rowers here. Good job, Chris Calamano. You're nailing it. And hang tight. Hang tight.
It's good to see the runners come in. A lot of them really walk away with a lot of appreciation for a 2K. I know milers come in and they're like, well, it feels like I just ran one of those.
He knows well, and he's right on. He and I talked to Chris Calamano, and he's sitting on his 150s, and I think he can do that. There he goes through halfway.
All right, we are at the halfway point, and let's take a look down here at the 60 to 69 because we have some interesting stuff happening here. We got about a boat length of lead with Chris's brother Ed, who's cruising in, still on pace for that 6:44 time.
My God.
A fantastic
Go
time
Ed.
for that age category.
That away,
But
Ed.
we have a serious battle taking place here between Patrick Hamner and my very own father, who are at about a 5-6 meter split difference right now. And looks like Jim's goal for today is going to just be to get under 7 minutes. Let's see if he can do it.
He's on track.
He is on track. He is a little bit understroking right now. Well, not Ed, certainly, but definitely the guy next to him. They are pretty close with those rates, looking at about a 28 stroke rate there.
And Tom Phillips, lightweight, 60-year-old.
Oh, good for
At
him.
7:50 to go. He is holding his 146. Wow, Tom, good job. You have been training, clearly.
That is a blistering time for a lightweight at that age. Good
And
for him.
Hap, look,
All right, there he is, Hap. Come on, bud.
he is sitting pretty.
Yeah, I think Hap's going to be happy
representing
with this time
well
if he can hold on to
70-year-olds.
it.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Hang tight. He's hanging tight. Very nice at 153s and 70. I hope I'm doing that when I roll around to that age.
Hap is one of those guys that does a 2K on his birthday. I kid you not. This is a real story he told me. Every birthday he does his 2K, and you got to have some sort of mental toughness to do a 2K on your birthday, Chris.
Yeah. I want to just point out to Michael Plunkett, too. This is his first 2K. He's got a brand new machine, and he's working it nicely, holding his 215s, 214s, very good. And Jim Wolf, just behind him, hanging tight, too. I want to go, we're in the last 500 for these guys. Go ahead there,
Good job,
Eric.
gents.
Jim Hughes. We got James Ball right in the hunt at 140, doing his usual thing. This is impressive. 30-year-olds,
This is quite a race.
40-year-olds taking on, 50-year-olds taking on those 40-year-olds.
Wow.
Look at that go, James. Very nice work. And Jim Hughes, not to be denied. He's holding his 138, steady as can be, into the last 200 meters.
Wow.
He's
This is quite a race for the
That
top
is a
four
barn burner.
positions right
Adam
here.
Spence, new to it, back at revisiting, right in the hunt. He's going to get silver. And my brother Ed holding tight with Adam Spence. But this is good. Go Adam, that away.
Right now it's coming down. Jim Hughes looking like he is going to be getting in first place with James Ball in position for second. And it is going to be a fight for third between Adam and Ed for that third place. Let's see what happens.
This is good.
Jacking up that rate here at the end.
There's 138, Jim
Second
Hughes.
place is coming in
James Ball. Nice job. Adam Spence.
Squeezing in a sub 640.
And
Oh, what a barn burner.
that is really good. Nice job.
Excellent.
Adam, Ed, unbelievable.
All right, we got our next wave coming through. John from down in sunny Florida is coming in at a strong 139 at the end. He is snuck under 7 minutes right there. Patrick, and then Jim. Oh, and we've got Tom Phillips, the lightweight, down here at a 145.4.
7019. Very nice.
Very
There is
nice.
a lightweight 60-year-old. That's a near this great race for him.
What a race,
Chris Calamano, nice job with the 148s. We predicted that's what you could do. I knew you could do it.
Wonderful.
And here comes Mark Caldwell finishing off his piece at holding 152s, 20 meters to go.
Very
nice job.
respectable there, Mark.
And Hap coming to the wire as well.
There we go, Hap. Bring it home, bud. Carrying that rate up to a 34.
Bam.
Now, that's
And
it.
boom, good. Michael Todd, nice job.
Inside of that last 250 meters, you'll often see the guys jacking that rate up. You might see them coming through the race at a 28 to 30 and then ending at a 34, 35. Oftentimes, folks will cut the layback out, the lean back of their stroke, so that they can really focus on the powerhouse, the pistons, your quadriceps.
Yeah.
That is where you can really get some extra speed at the end. But man, does it hurt!
I'll tell you. And here comes George Wolf closing the deal for himself. And a few meters, boom, he's at 204 average.
Congrats there, George.
And Michael Plunkett, new rower, local comes to our classes here. He's finishing it off beautifully, right to the end. That way, Michael see it through.
Great to see folks finding the sport.
He's great. He does our outdoor classes. Distance
Coming
socially.
in at a 35 at the end there. There you go,
There
Mike.
you go. Boom, with authority. Bam,
Awesome.
right to the wire.
What an event here today.
That was fantastic. I have to say, I know that some of them are, well, they're all huffing and puffing, and that was a tough one. Really impressive performances across the board. The leaders coming in well, but I look at, Adam Spence, new back to it, and he really laid it down. Look at the 140. Very nice. He and I were talking about his 6:42.8. Wow, it's a really good piece.
That is incredible.
Perfect, right on target. My brother Ed with the 6:44. I'm not
Good
sure I could
Ed.
match that. And this after a year, I won't go into the details, but he's had a tough year, and that must have, I hate to say it, but that must have hurt.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt, but he is probably really proud of that time, Chris. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm coming to you at 25 years old here, and if I can get a sub 6:44 today, I'm gonna be doing cartwheels.
Yeah, he's 60. He's in the 60s now, and that's a totally impressive time.
Wow, what a
your
great
father, 7:03, right on target.
7:03. I hope he remembered to open the window. Jim is coming to us from my apartment down in Brooklyn, and that room that he is rowing in can get hot and steamy. Hope you opened a window, Jim.
And Tom Phillips, lightweight, 60-year-old, 7:019. I think that's right on your target. Yeah, you're not. Yeah, a year older, but you're not sliding. Your times are the same as they were.
Really impressive to see that from our 60 to 69 lightweights.
Really good. Congratulations to all you guys. Wish I were there too to hang tight, but I also glad to miss that. That would have burned.
That's you said it. That is a barn burner right there. And the barn is your legs.
Well, I also just want to say thank you all for showing up. This is keeping this tradition of the St. Valentine's Day Regatta going is a key thing. I have done it for many, many years, and we don't want to let it fade or fall off the map in
Absolutely.
any way.
It's really important, I think, just now more than ever to just continue having the things that anchor you into what you love. And we see a lot of folks out here, especially in our 30, 40, 50, all the way to our veterans, who have really just shown a lifelong commitment to this sport. Or maybe they're finding it for the first time, but it's just awesome to see that they can still have events like this.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it better. That's exactly right. It's just that's the beauty of rowing is people sticking with it. It never gets old, really. You're always having to fight to keep your numbers.
It always hurts, Chris.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about them. I remember reading an article about Steve Redgrave in an article in the Esquire or something before an Olympics, and they asked. He's a 5-time Olympic gold medalist from Great Britain. And they said, so what about the pain in rowing? He goes, what pain? Okay, so we don't talk about it. But the article went on to talk about how while runners run into the wall and everything, the rowers fall into the abyss. And I always like that sort of concept.
All right, we got a fun one coming up here, folks.
Yep. What do we got? The Coxswain's 1,000-meter race. This is 1,000.
Is it 1,000 or 5? I saw 500 on the map, but that could be
maybe.
It's a 1K. All right, fantastic. So we're going to be looking at times probably under 6 minutes for most of these athletes here, but this is quite a fun event.
I don't know that many of these rowers. There are a lot of the. Let me get my list out. A lot of the PCRA girls.
So for those who are not familiar, coxswains are an integral part of any rowing event. They are often the ones that organize the crew when they are focused on just yamming on an oar for about 2,000 odd meters, but they also steer the boats. In particular, courses like the famous Head of the Charles are absolute gauntlets for these helmsmen who are navigating through multiple bridges and jockeying for positions among other boats. So an integral part of the rowing team, and it's always great to see them hop on the oar.
Yeah, it's great. Well, there's a couple coxswains who were college coxswains who then became lightweight rowers once they graduated. Want to stay with rowing. They can obviously cox masters boats and stuff like that, but they also like to try their hand at it. Oftentimes, I had coxswains who were former cross-country runner, high school runners, and they just found coxing in college, and it's great. You really want a competitor in the coxswain seat, somebody who's participated in competitive sports.
Absolutely,
and
somebody who understands how to push their athletes. The
Absolutely.
best coxswains really understand their crews and know how to get the most speed out of their boats, as well as obviously being able to finesse the boats through any number of obstacles on and off the water.
So what do we got time here? We had a little bit. I wanted to say a little story. We had a few more minutes till we launch this one. I don't think they're going to launch it early. Let everybody get set up.
It's nice to have everything on schedule.
Yeah,
I'm not used to that at most regattas.
Yeah, no, there's always some lag or worry people are going to be late to the start. But hopefully people are sitting ready and their machines are all connected and good. I was going to tell a story of when I was in college. We were having trouble getting a coxswain for the end of the season, and we knew there was a coxswain who kind of said, I can't cox this year because he had schoolwork, obviously. And
it's a big time commitment. It's really like having a part-time job.
And I hadn't met this coxswain, but the other guys were telling me, they said, we got to get John out, John. And Cusick was his name, like the actor John Cusick. And he came out, and the first day he came, we did finally talk him, beg him to come out, and he came out, and it was so good. He really brought us in because he had been a wrestler in high school, and he knew that. Anyway, he took us to the national championship, which was in a small club program, and we went to Dad Vale, and he took us right to the podium.
That's amazing.
He laid it down, and we were in the hunt down the stretch, and he was not going to let us be denied. And so, just again, the coxswains, when they have that fight in them, it really makes the difference in a crew.
It's very important for the coxswains to have that relationship with the crew. I remember my senior year rowing at Bates College. We had a real coxswain shortage. It's tough to balance all the academia and the athletics. And we had a guy. Ben Whitehead, who was actually one of our lightweight rowers. He was pretty close to coxswain sized, and it was amazing having him in the boat because he was with us for almost every single workout, cranking on the erg right next to all the guys because he wasn't slow. But he was a lightweight, and he had never coxed an 8 before, and we needed him for the head of the Charles. And as I mentioned a little earlier, that is just generally known as the gauntlet for coxswains. You got to go to 7 bridges or something. It's crazy. There's big turns, and the race is always loaded with boats. So there's always traffic to dodge. You really have to have
you gotta have nerves.
You gotta have nerves of steel for that.
Nerves of steel.
And man, he just coxed a perfect course. It was his first time out on the Charles, and Ben, I don't know where. I think you're in D.C. somewhere right now. What a race that was, man, and what a move to go from rowing to coxing. For a lot of guys, that's a big sacrifice, and he did it for the team.
Oh yeah. I have another coxing story I won't tell right now. I want to turn to our competitors. I don't know all the names on there. Some of them, Dana Shearer is one of our own Pelham coxswains, and she's in there in the lane 3, and she is Cockstar Masters, and she's very quiet, very organized, and you just get a great sense from her when she comes and helps us out on our Masters end of things down here at Pelham.
A lot of good Pelham
we love
representation
having
in
Dana come
this
out
race.
and cox us, and it really, we as Masters also, by the way, don't have a lot of coxswains, so we don't get a lot of chances to get in team boats, and
absolutely.
So we're sculling a lot. But
once
Dana,
you lose the organization of school, it gets a little tougher to get 8 guys in a room together.
Exactly. So I don't have bios on too many of these, but again, these are the smaller coxswain types and the U14 girls, and they're going to go 1,000 meters, And a lot can happen to a person in 1,000 meters.
Yeah, and when we're looking at these at this race, for those of us who aren't aware, most of these coxswains are clocking in between like 100 and 120 pounds. These are really really small folks. So we are going to be seeing some extreme mighty lighties out here today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
And
good PCRA girls for showing up and doing this. Thank you for. Yeah, they're sitting ready. They
synchronizing those ergs.
Okay. Try and relax, breathe. Not only the racers, but the audience. It's all about to happen.
Oh, man.
Out of the way.
This is always a really fun event in person.
Oh, it is.
The rowers lose their minds when the coxswain race comes on.
Yeah. Maybe I should have Elizabeth stand in here, and she knows the guy. Yeah, my thing is.
Our masterful tech support.
Let me refresh that. Oh, over there.
Wouldn't happen without her.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
All right, that's the stop rowing sign. It's telling the rowers to sit in their ready positions.
Well, I hope everybody's enjoying this virtual spectating. Not because of what we're doing, but just seeing it's all on a screen. But you got to try and relate. As rowers, we relate to what they're going through, sitting, getting ready, a little bit of nerves.
Absolutely.
But you're ready, cool, quiet.
Feeling it myself.
Ready to go.
Attention.
And away they go. That away. Out of the blocks they go. Beautiful.
Nice.
Jumping out.
Oh, man, that's got to be a glitch. I saw a 68 up there on that stroke rate for a second.
They know how to do
I can't
it.
even think that fast.
That's a little quarter slide rowing there. Michael Walsh down on the bottom, laying it down at 134s. I'll say, wow.
Oh, this is a sprint. We got some of the coxswains are out for blood. It seems.
Yeah.
There's some seriously tight distribution there in the center.
Yeah, and who do we have? Ella Harshman. Ashman really out there too with 139s. This is impressive stuff.
Yeah, this is actually one of the reasons that the coxswain race is so fun. A lot of these coxswains I remember from college will come into races like this with something to prove, and they usually do. All of their boys are watching, all their girls are watching. So
I got to believe that those leaders there, well, many of them were runners, cross-country runners or swimmers. They're looking good. This is impressive times.
A lot of coxswains are really athletic because, lightweight rowers are the really only rowers that have a weight requirement, but every coxswain has sort of a weight range that they're expected to be in. So coxswain's fitness is usually underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. Here they go.
Right.
This is, again, a 1,000-meter race. It's 400 meters in,
really
approaching halfway already.
Swing.
This is a barn race. This is drag racing.
This absolutely is a drag race.
It's
0 to 100.
Yep. And here they come. Here come the leaders. Ella Harshman.
Good for you, Ella. Hanging at a 148. Oh, my goodness.
It's totally impressive. I want to know the background history on this. And Matt Califano way up on top in lane, boat 2 there, holding 148.
And we have Michael Walsh here, too, kind of giving him a run for his money down at the bottom here.
In lane 19. A big cluster in the middle there, but in lane 12, Tegan Farley, I believe from City Island. All right, City Island representing and holding steady. Nice job.
We are inside. We are coming close to the last quarter of this race. These 1,000 meters fly by.
Mm-hmm. So we have, those are novices in the green and the purple. Women's novice, that is Tegan from City Island, Ella Harshman from Pelham holding off and holding at bay, but we got 200 meters here, and we got a race brewing here. This is really shaping up to be quite a finish. 8 meters behind sits Tegan and Farley and Ella Harshman.
And they got Matt up there.
We're running into that last bit where you can run out of gas in the 1,000. if you're not careful. They're into the last 200, and we have a dead even race for the first place finish. 1 meter difference.
Wow.
Here comes Tegan Farley and Matt Califano holding tight. Men's coxswain, up on the top.
Man.
And what is going to happen? Tegan
I can't
Farley
call it.
holding. Here's Ella Harshman.
39 stroke rate from Matt. He is going for it.
He is going.
He is fighting for that, but it's going to be quite a tight finish down to the line
What
between
do we got?
Tegan and
Farley,
Matt.
boom.
Oh, nice.
Less than a second.
What a race. And we have a very tight distribution from the middle of the pack as well, all the way down to Michael Walsh.
Here they go. It's going to be boom, 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 boom,
Connecting.
boom, down, hitting the line here.
Oh,
Close
great
finishes.
to see it. Great to see it. Good job to all those coxswains.
Wish I could attend, Cox and call all these races that they're doing. Dana Shearer coming, closing the deal down. 2:15's very good average there.
Excellent.
And comes away with a 2:05 average. I'm sorry. Nice.
Wow.
Emiliano
Platenko
right to the
coming
finish
in
there. All
Good
good.
job, PCRA. Great to see the coxswains out here today.
Catherine Kuncia, we know her from Pelham. She's coming home, bringing it, closing out the deal. I'm on her reserve by, and they are finishing with the last 50 meters here, last 20 meters for Catherine Kuntz, and here she comes. Boom, she's winds up with a 4:48. Nice job, very nice job again for these lightweight and novice rowers.
Excellent.
Coxswains.
Excellent job, everybody. Good job out there. And everybody came in under 5 minutes.
I wish we could have live cams to see the effect on these rowers as they in their homes and basements and wherever they may be.
Yeah.
We know what you're going through. I hope the audience can appreciate their huffing and puffing. I hope nobody hates rowing because of these, the rowers, that is. You can go, I'll never do that again. But it's a great experience. It's like bungee jumping or something.
Absolutely. And, it's really part of the...
It's scary, but
there's a big culture, of a lot of rowing happens in seasonal areas. Not all of it, but a lot of it does, especially in New England is a big mecca of rowing in the United States. A lot of culture and history in a lot of these East Coast towns and cities. Yeah. So you have this harsh winter.
Pelham and the New York Athletic. This is a historic area.
Absolutely, and Philadelphia with the Schuylkill River, of course, the head of the Charles, and these are all places with harsh, cold winters, Chris. So there is a big culture of winter training that is revolving around the erg, especially since the explosion of Concept 2s. And so, it's the 2K is a part of that. It's a big part of the college selection process, and for these rowers, it's how they kind of bond together over the winters. But I can tell you, I rowed in Maine for 4 years, and we are breaking ice out there every winter. All of that stuff, that's part of it. That's how you earn the water.
Well, I grew up, rowing in Boston, north of Boston, and on the erg. Actually, my first introduction to rowing was on the erg, and then I saw my way to the water in high school, rowed kind of singles, didn't row on an organized team, but then in college, walked onto a team, and we had a great time. I was going to say, after college, I rowed with a group out in Seattle, having come from New England and rowed in New England. And we were in Seattle. I was with a good group, including my brother Ed and a bunch of the Washington guys.
Nice.
But we were told by the coach, who was Chris Korzanowski, was the national team coach, and he said, "You guys are pretty good out here in your training, but there's something tougher about those guys in Boston who are putting up with the cold and running on the stadiums and the ice." And we were like, "Yeah, well, we'll give them a run for their money when we come back east to race them." And anyway, there is something that it definitely breeds a tough type of person. Cornell rowers were notoriously tough because they were always dealing with the cold New York weather.
Absolutely. I have very distinct memory because they row on freshwater too. And let me tell you, freshwater when it's cold, that stuff will freeze. And, Like we
So you rode on saltwater?
we would roll on freshwater out in
Brackish?
Maine, lots of lakes up there.
Okay.
We rode on the Androscoggin River.
Okay.
And, different parts of it thaw at different rates. So, whenever we're in like our April, March, April zone, which is just real cold up there.
Yeah.
If you know the guys who backsplash are not the most popular folks at that point of the season.
I rode out at UMass in Amherst and on the Connecticut River, and in March, we had ice on us. And the worst thing was I would see the coxswain. I was around 7th seat, and I'd see the coxswain with ice
Those coxswains
on their face and on there, and it was like, we gotta get this person home.
Oh yeah.
They're not gonna make it.
You cannot have enough layers, and just to bring it back to the coxswains, you guys are rock stars in the winter and like the early spring months, because especially I want to shout out the coxswains who end up in 4s.
Yeah.
The bow-seated coxswains who, if there is any kind of chop, and in New England, you are gonna get chop in the spring, and those coxswains are catching some waves, and that is not a good time.
Yeah. Not a good time.
But they do it every day. They do it for their guys. They do it for their girls. They are out there for the team, and that is why we love them.
And this is why I think rowing is so bonding. Is you all go to battle, and you all endure all the sort of hardships. And it's a very bonding experience. You never forget it.
No.
In fact, next week, I'm going up to Western Massachusetts to go cross-country skiing, but I'm going to be hanging out with a friend of mine from college who's a tough nut on my team, and he's really into cross-country. But I'm sure we're going to tell old war stories of, rowing in the cold spring and ice and just doing land training stuff and hills and whatnot.
All those early morning practices.
That's great.
6 a.m. sprints,
Very bonding.
Early mornings, too, a big part of the rowing community.
Yeah.
We like the water flat. And it looks like our next event is set up here. What are we looking at, Chris?
I'm looking here. I see it. I had to refresh my screen. There it is. We are looking at women's U17, lightweight women under 19, and women's under 19 open weight. There we go. And okay, I'm being shown notes here from our studio staff.
They're really running the show for
studio, our production manager. I don't know. We all.
I feel very well managed.
Well, I know
Chris.
many of these rowers. This is very nice. I know. Sylvia Scheichler is a new is going to be a great rower. All of them are going to be great. Elizabeth White, Fiona Gerlinger,
and we got
Zoe Todd.
Shannon is here from, I don't know if we have Shannon on the board. I'm looking at the spreadsheet right now.
Yeah, I do.
We do?
No, go ahead. Where's she?
Yeah, she is coming to us from Albany as well. That's
beautiful.
OARS Incorporated. So shout out to another New Yorker.
Yeah, we got the Hudson Valley sewed up here. Do you have the list of Calissa?
Yeah, Calissa.
Snyder Cox is.
Yes, Snyder Cox. We are looking at her from Pelham Community.
Okay. I'm going to bring it back.
Absolutely. So this is the women's U17.
Yes.
All right. So this is going to be a competitive race.
Well, it's 3. I have 3 on the screen there. The under 17, lightweight U19, and the women's U19 Open.
All right.
Sylvia, I know, lives in Manhattan, and she is tall.
Well, good for her.
That's what she's a tall, and she has 2 younger sisters that are also very tall.
Yeah,
I hope to
we
come
like
to
that
Pelham
in the
to row.
community.
Yeah, and her father's very tall. I was trying to get him in the master's program, but he wants none of it. He said, "Okay." Sylvia, I'm told through notes here, is 6'2".
Oh wow!
Is she 6'2"? I told her she can be a rock star. She can go to the top. But she's just getting into it, and she's made a lot of progress. I haven't kept up with her. She came and visited me in New York and did some training on the rowing machine, and she has all the tools to go very fast.
That's pretty incredible. We love height in the rowing community. That's
Yeah.
it just gives you more watts, more horsepower. Chris is coming to us from, what are you, Chris? 6'6"? Like
Sometimes thinking, I think, but I'm yeah 6.
that's a good
6'5".
height for a open weight rower right there.
Yeah, you got the good levers when you're taller.
This is why we have a lightweight category.
So I am
Let
looking,
everybody else have a crack at it.
yeah. Well, I always say lightweight rowing is it's the stock car racing of the rowing of the world. Yeah, and the races are the best because everybody's pound for pound sort of the same.
Oh yeah.
But I was told by a physiologist that lightweight women were the fittest pound for pound athletes that they ever dealt with.
Mm.
They could, move more body where they were doing weights and moving weights.
I believe it.
Yeah, doing circuits.
The mighty lighties.
Yeah.
Really
Okay, we are
impressive stuff.
sitting ready. How much time do we have for this race coming up here? Oh, we have a little bit of time, so hopefully they're warming up and getting their heads calm and centered for this race. This is a 2,000-meter race.
Yes, that is worth mentioning.
And just 6 boats across here. Standard lanes you see in international Olympics and high
this is
college
what you
and
see
high
for
school.
all your heats and finals
Yeah.
for the spring season, really
Oh,
the
yeah.
2K season.
Yeah.
And it's really awesome to see that 6 boat spread. I mean, to me, Chris, I'm sure it's so classic, to see the 8s and the 4s and all of those team boats just like surging across a 6-lane race.
I once went to a great race, first race sort of the season out in San Diego Crew Classic, and it was 6 lanes across.
Great race.
And we had news coverage of somebody covering it, or somebody I knew was doing it for CBS or something like that. And she was out in the launch watching, and she had never seen a rowing race or been up close on it. And we did it. We had a false start too, but she said afterwards, I said, after the race and stuff, I said, how did it go? How'd you like it? She goes, that's like the most intense thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
She said, and we had 8, so it was 6 times 8, 48 boats. What am I doing that? 40, and it was just all sitting ready, quiet, and then explosion of everybody off the line.
A start in an 8 and a 6-lane setup is something that once you've experienced, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It is intense. You have some of these crews. I remember FIT back in I want to say like the late 20-teens would surge through a 2K. They beat Michigan at this rate. It was I think it was above a 40 for the whole race, like crazy open weight guys. But the whole 6-lane thing is actually there are favorable lanes. I don't think everybody will know this.
Yeah.
Lanes 3, 4, and lanes 3 and 4 really are the lanes that you want because actually most of these races are on rivers and the river banks are more shallow. So the deeper water is actually faster for the boats. So when you have heats and leading up to the finals and sometimes semifinals, you have a lot of these boats are making decisions with their coxswains about how much of their energy to use to earn those top tier seats and get into lanes 3 and 4. It's really it's kind of a chess game for some of these multi-heat events.
Definitely. I remember in Philly when you're coming down the last quarter mile in the last 500, you're going along the island if you're in lane 6. And there is drag there. That's the lane we were in the Dad Bale that we won. And our coxswain knew it. He knew we had to have a big lead because we were going to run into drag, and actually lane 1 would be gaining speed. Also, it's an angle. So anyway,
you don't want to be fighting for the finish when you're coming against that drag. You need to have an established lead.
Yeah.
A beautiful race course actually in Camden, New Jersey, is, I think it's due for a dredge.
Yeah.
They've been trying to dredge that for a while, but it definitely has some disparity between lanes 1 and 6 and lanes 3 and 4.
Well, that's how they make Olympic courses. They have to have uniform depth all the way down the course for
Which
that
is
physics reason of no drag, less uniform drag on all lanes.
Absolutely.
So where are we? We're going to go start in a couple minutes here. Top of the hour at 11 o'clock. These women will go off the line. And
good time for a 2K.
Good time
11 a.m.
Stay relaxed there, competitors. All I can say is your body's gonna do what it can do.
You're gonna finish.
Trust your numbers. know your splits, settle into it, and bide your time till that last 500, and then
Let it go.
bring what you can out of your back pocket. Just lay it down and.
Chris, I'll tell you, I'm going to hold on to those words for my 2K. I'm doing mine after.
So Eric is going to do a 2K at the end of the day here. He'll leave us. He's going to lay it down. I am not going to do that today because I just conveniently put myself out there.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's
Yeah, you'll
be fun,
do
Chris.
Yeah, you know, maybe. You be conservative. That's
Yeah.
the biggest advice I can give people is always be a little bit conservative in the first 1,000. So
No reason to lose the lunch
you can always
today.
empty the tank down the stretch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, and it looks like we've gotten all of our rowers into their different colors. That's fantastic. Really impressed with Time Team today. This this is my
awesome.
first team looking at this tech. It's my first time looking at this tech, and wow.
It's good.
Remote
I don't
remote
fully
rowing.
understand it all. We have Jeff Hoffman behind the scenes. He's our chief operating officer here, and Time Team in the Netherlands. Orchestrating stuff, and it's looking great.
It's a great.
Thank
rowing.
you
That's
both.
a great country for rowing.
Oh yeah.
A lot of powerful rowers out of there. All right, and looks like we've got the stop rowing sign up.
There you go.
We are getting ready to send off event number 4. Calm before the storm.
Mm-hmm. We're looking good. I sense to start right on schedule. This is beautiful.
Great stuff.
Okay. Since it's all about to start, they have boys sitting ready.
All right,
There
right
you go.
on the money at 11 o'clock, sitting ready.
Clockwork.
Attention.
Go. There they are.
There it is.
Out of the blocks. Nice start. Clearly, some of those boats jumping right out. You know they took their classic start, half, 3/4, 3/4 full, something like that.
Absolutely, which is why at the start you will see some of these rates up in the upper 30s, maybe even the low 40s. Those half, quarter, 3/4 strokes really let you get that flywheel spinning, and that is how you get that fast, lightning start.
They are through 100 meters already, and this is a tightly knit group here. This is good. It bodes well for a tight race. Some of the girls there getting a little bit of an edge on the others, but we have two sort of groups running here.
Wow.
Lane 1, Shannon Bremer looking good. From, where is she from? She's an Albany Rowing Club, I believe, and she's looking good, holding 157s, locking into that.
Incredible.
Let's see that she can maintain that.
Chris, I said it once, I'll say it again. Those lightweights really know how to jack up a rate. We have Elizabeth White here, our U19 lightweight, cruising at a 39 stroke rate.
Wow.
That is. Let's see if she can hold on to that.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
She's
tough.
got to be careful with that, but maybe if she has a light damper setting, perhaps she can maintain that.
Yeah.
And that's a strategy. Definitely, one needs to have a strategy. If she can tap it along at 39 and keep that wheel.
Keep that flywheel spinning. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, she is settling a bit now. That's good. She's
All right,
400
down to
meters
a 35. There we go.
Beautiful.
And
At
it's looking like
2:01.
we are going to be having a few people fighting for that kind of 8-minute time, which is a quick 2K time.
Note there, though, that Sylvia is sitting, Scheikler is sitting at a 23 strokes per minute.
Wow.
She's, it might be a strategy.
That is a big
She's just
understroke.
going what I would call long and strong, holding 2-minute splits at a long and strong 23, 24 strokes a minute, while
My
the others
goodness.
up around 30 and above 30, holding about the same speed. And here she goes, edging up.
That's an interesting strategy, but it seems to be working.
She's got, she is just taking sort of the lead here. She is sitting
pretty. Hopefully she's playing her cards just right. She knows what she has under the hood.
I'll tell you, Chris,
And-
if Sylvia holds on to a 23 through the 1,000, then and she's still in this position, that she can basically call this race whatever she wants to.
She's throwing that long and strong style, giving her lots of recovery time each stroke.
Right.
Again, with Shannon Bramer right there on her tail, so Sylvia has now taken the lead and is sitting at 159s, and I hope she's done her work and research. She knows that that's her number she can maintain. This is good.
Elizabeth has settled into a 34, which is actually a very high rate, but still within like standard competitive rower settling.
And lightweight.
Yeah,
lightweights tend to do that. Again,
we do like the 30. You won't see that from me today, Chris.
No.
But
you won't ever see it from me, ever. But no, I go 31 sometimes, but I'm at 29ers. I'm not 24 though. Sylvia's style there, very nice.
Wow, and we do have Calissa Snyder Cox.
So they're coming through 1100. This is good, and we still have Clarissa Snyder Cox stalking the field there in 4th place with Elizabeth White in 3rd. Shannon Bremer looking good there and holding her in lane 1 in 2nd place. And further back there, Fiona Gerlinger right on the pack too, and really not that far behind. She has time to make up. She hasn't lost too much time, but too much real estate, I'll call it. But she's coming through the 1,000. A lot can happen in the second.
A lot of us are wondering what is going to happen here. Now, it seems like the first 1,000 has flown by, but I can tell you, for these rowers, if you think that watching your food in the microwave, that timer is taking a long time, try doing one of these. They are feeling every second.
They're in the right in the 3rd quarter. This is where you start a storm can sort of brew. You're like you kind of still a little ways from home, and yet the legs, everything's burning. You just got to keep the faith here. Keep on your game plan. I tend to encourage people to take 5s to themselves, stay in the moment, and just chip away at it. Don't think how far you have to go. Keep the faith.
It's really a mental game to get. Yeah. Once you get inside of 800, it's a mental game to get yourself to 500, and then you can just lie to yourself until it's over.
I take 100 at a time, and they're in the between 700, 800, and 700 here, closing there. They go across the 700, virtually even here.
Wow.
Between the lane 1 and 6, and that's Sylvia.
It looks like Sylvia is taking the rate up a little bit.
Shannon Brenner. This is a great race.
Wow.
And Clarissa Snyder Cox right there, 10 meters back. Calissa, sorry, and thank you. And they're shrinking the screen there. This is a pretty tight race. And 4th place, Elizabeth White, right there, not going away. Again, that 1st, 2nd, and 3rd sitting pretty all around 2 minute, 1 minute, 59, 2 minute splits. And
this is a race plan coming to action. These athletes came in knowing exactly what they wanted to do, and it looks like they are getting it done. In the last 500 meters, we'll see if they can hold on. This is the make it or break it time, Chris.
This is when you wish you had them live and you could be watching what's going on and seeing their faces and seeing their bodies. This is good.
Oh, yeah. And then big erg races like, this one usually, but also, Crash Bees. And this is where you really see the volume in the arena crank up.
Yeah, no, everybody cheering. This is a good one. It's quiet here. We're just watching it on the screen, but I can tell you they're inside 500, and we have.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely becoming
boats overlapping right and left here.
All right, Sylvia's going to have to make a decision right now because Shannon is not letting go of that lead.
Nope.
And she is opening up that split 5 seconds before underneath what she needs to be, 5 splits underneath what she needs to be at in order to break 8 minutes right there.
I would encourage her to take that rating up if she can possibly bear to do it, and she is doing it. She's now at 25.
I think we're going to need to see something closer to 28 if she's going to make that difference in the last 250 meters.
Karpinen, the famous sculler who would leave it to the last 200 and understroke everybody and just wind it up.
It's a strategy. It's a bold strategy, but it's a strategy.
There'd all be sucking wind at this point, but they can rally. Who can
Shannon
rally?
is coming through at a 35, knowing that she is coming into the last 200 meters of this event.
Kalissa right on her tail.
Oh,
Look
yes,
at this.
right
10 meters
in there.
back. She can do it.
Oh, she is closing in. It is going to be down to
Kalissa,
the wire.
impressive. Come from behind, closing the gap 10 meters back.
It really, at this point, Chris, it's who wants it more.
Shannon Bremer from Albany. This is a...
Oh, she is closing in.
8 meters back.
All
We're
right.
coming in.
It's a battle.
7 meters. This could be to the wire. Winding up. She's at 36
it's gonna
strokes
be a
and 5
fight.
meter. Right to the wire. It's going to
Shannon
be
may
about 2
hold
meters.
her off. There it is.
Oh, 0.2 of a second difference
What a
on the
battle.
average. That's about a second.
And there's Sylvia coming in.
Nice.
Brought it up to a 33 at the end.
All of them under 2 minute splits. That's inside
Very
8 minutes.
good. Very competitive finish there. And there's Elizabeth finishing at that 34. Mighty Lighty.
And there's, 8:09 for her. Nice. Fiona,
Good
very
job,
nice
Fiona.
at 8:16.
And there's Zoe
Zoe.
initiating her battle.
Taking it home. We got to applaud all these performances. Even the people coming in the back, we know they're trying. She's holding steady.
Great job.
She's inside 200. And let's cheer her home.
There it is.
Yeah. It all counts.
job,
Everybody on their own terms here, just bringing it home. The others that have hit the line, I'm sure, feeling it. I hope they're not overwhelmed. And
It really is, though, on their own terms. That's kind of the magic of the winter season in the 2K. You know, it's not everybody's a single sculler. In fact, I'd say most folks are not single scullers. So when you're racing on the water, you're in the literal same boat as your friends. But on the erg, it is you and that monitor.
And here comes Zoe with 50 meters left. I don't know her body. She's a lightweight. She's a lightweight.
Looks like she is, yeah.
Under 17, or no, woman under 17, but she's doing a job.
yeah,
She may be new to this, and here it is, last 15.
All right.
And boom, she's
Great
done.
job,
Nice job,
Zoe.
Zoe.
Wonderful.
She did a great job. Look at those times. Very nice with the sub 8 minutes. That's where we want to be at this age. That's in the ballpark for college
Absolutely.
recruitment. They have the rest of the winter and the spring to lower those times down to get into the low 7:30.
Yeah, we mentioned this earlier, and I'm actually, this is why, I'm a teacher myself, so I'm really glad that there are events like this still happening. For many rowers, your 2K is really like an SAT score.
Oh, yeah, I
And,
was going to say that earlier when you were mentioning it is that is called, many people refer to it as the SAT of rowing.
Absolutely, and it's really important that there are races that are public like this, so that it's kind of the difference between taking an official SAT and a practice test at your house.
Yeah.
So I mean, this the presence of these events is really crucial for the kids that are 16, 17 years old right now and are really seriously in the college application stage. This is the time. This is where coaches are looking.
Yeah. Some of them don't like to expose themselves and put themselves out there, and that's understandable. But to those who have and are doing it today, this is good. And coaches will always respect. They don't know the circumstances. They know this has been a tough year, but they're all of these young people jumping in and giving it a shot.
Yeah, showing their stuff. It's really
showing their stuff.
Really great.
And just the racing experience, being in watching it, even on a screen, you feel like, I want to hang with them. What do I got to do during the race? You're trying to assess, like, okay. I mean, you definitely maybe modify the plan during the race. You go in with a plan, and sometimes you modify.
But you also have to be able to react.
Yes, you have to.
That's the magic. It's not catching, it's fishing, right?
Yeah. Well, nice
Great
job.
stuff today.
Those women, and we have the next race will be boys.
Looks like our last, maybe no, is it? Event 5 seems to be the last event here. We do have strong showing from PCRA, with a couple folks coming in from different clubs. We got some folks from Iona Prep, Navasink River. It's gonna be a good race out there. This is one of our largest events of the day, I believe.
And this is the 9. This will be the the 11:20.
All right.
So do we have is there 11:10 race? I got to look at the schedule here. I think we got a little bit of time before next one
Yes.
rolls up, but that was good. I can't see all the results. I'm looking down the line though for your race is coming up. Do you want to? I hate to cut out. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it later.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, Eric, Divan, and I, and his father raced earlier. We're sitting here in the studio in Pelham. This is called the studio. It's Pelham Community Rowing Association's training center. It is also a location for classes for what I call civilians or your general public. Elizabeth Calder, who's producing all this live stream here behind the scenes, she runs the studio classes and everything that goes on here. We're gonna, but the studio is open for business, and
Absolutely,
we are
so-
running classes in limited, socially distanced basis, and that's how. So
the way
definitely
we do
go
things
on.
here in New York.
Yeah, what's that?
We social distance.
Yeah. We got a lot of that going on, but here at the studio, you can go to the our website, Pelham Community Rowing's website, and you will see the studio. A new branch of our website has the activities going on at the studio, and we just opened this year, really, and we will be staying open throughout the year.
Yeah.
In fact, if things keep on the way they are, there might be more of these virtual races. I can't promise that, but now we're all getting good at this.
We're still in the erg season, so.
Yeah, we're in the erg season. Yeah, maybe we'll try and do this again. This St. Valentine's Day Regatta will continue on no matter what. This is, as I said, it's the 38th annual, and we're glad that we're able to keep it going, and especially here at the studio, keeping it going.
Yeah. And it is great, Chris. It's great to have studios like this, because as you say, like, there are a lot of, I'll just use your language, civilians who are aware that, concept 2 and, erging and rowing is like a great way to achieve some personal fitness. And even if you don't end up going into the competitive rowing scene, it's awesome to have experienced professionals like Elizabeth and like, all the folks out there who have studios to really just give folks some general knowledge about how to effectively use these machines to better their personal fitness. Because I got to tell you, if you do not have a coach, it is really tricky to figure out how to use these things. And there are a lot of things that you can mess up without knowing.
Well, definitely the rowing machine makes rowing accessible, and when we have studios like this where we have people can walk by on the street and say, "Oh, there's rowing. I've heard about that," and they should feel free to come into these studios, in our studio, and inquire about how to learn to row. And it's pretty simple, as you know. It's just one simple motion.
Yeah. Chris, I love it. Low impact, running and sports like that really can hurt knees and hips, especially if you're in a place like, you and I live in New York City, and there's not too many soft trails out there.
No.
So running can really mess you up over the years. But, as we were talking about earlier in this stream, this is a lifelong sport. And the reason for that is because whether you're on the erg or on the boat, it is just zero impact, as long as you're treating your back with respect.
It's one of the, Concept 2 makes the machine, it doesn't advertise much. I mean, it's just, they kind of corner on the market as far as rowers and stuff. But they don't advertise, but they do. There's one magazine they do it, and that's Running Magazine. So when runners run into trouble with, impact in their knees and hips or whatever it may be, rowing is a good thing for them to turn to because of the, as you said, the low impact, it's non-weight bearing.
You don't get that nail biting, am I going to get hit by a car moment that you have when you're a runner or a cyclist for that matter.
Couldn't be
I know a lot of actually a good friend of me and Jim Divan's. He is used to be a motorcycle racer. That was too dangerous. Became a bicycle racer. That was also too dangerous. And now he's a rower.
Yeah.
And he just loves the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something you were saying. Yeah, rowing. Indoor rowing is one of maybe the safer things. And sometimes people say, "Well, isn't it bad for your back?" My stock answer for that is,
Bad rowing's bad for your back.
Yeah.
Good rowing. We'll show you how to row well, and you'll stay healthy, and not just through the rowing, but through the land training and the off the machine training that one does when they become a rower. That is, light body weight circuits.
Absolutely,
and
that's so crucial.
just training and conditioning the body to row. But rowing is one of the great things. By the way, Concept 2 also has the ski erg, which I love.
Oh yeah.
And another gentle on the body, but full body and a great aerobic activity.
And better than a treadmill for storing in your house.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you, I
I
live in Brooklyn. I live in Brooklyn myself, and it is really nice to have my my full body workout in my apartment, and I can store it vertically. It's got a footprint of maybe like 2.5 by 3.5 feet,
Yeah.
and you just tuck it away. So really, if you're in a city somewhere, this is really a solution to the workout at home during the pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's it's great. Well, have huge sales, right? They've been backed up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that they can't keep up with the demand right now with the amount of people that are probably looking into getting these things.
I'm just looking at some announcements here. All right, I think we're getting lined up. We have, by the way, I'm looking at the screen here for our next race, which is the boys under 17, lightweight boys under 19, and boys under 19. This is a lineup, and I know some of the names in here. I can't wait to watch this race. Good luck to all of you. We won't go down the long list. We have they are sitting ready. We're going to go in a few minutes here. They're probably stopping their machines so that the wheels can stop. Time team working from the Netherlands can see that all their wheels have stopped. They need to stop, and they get a notice on their monitors saying, please stop rowing, and we see it on our screen here. And that's to get the wheels to come to a complete stop before they launch the race.
That's great. And I'm looking down at, we have a lot of great representation from New York area, some Bosco.
Yep.
I'm seeing OKC. Is that Oklahoma City?
It is. I saw that. Yeah. And Benjamin Bohm. This is gonna. Why do I know that name?
I don't know. I was actually just checking that. I couldn't find it. He's not on the list.
I think I know this name, and excuse me for if I have talked to Benjamin, but this is it. Here they go.
All right, and we are
off.
Oh,
we have a
false start of the day.
As I was saying, the system can detect a false start, and they specifically tell you, be aware that we will catch false starts. So,
friend Jack, a little excited off the line there. That's okay. We understand.
Who was that? Do you saw Jack?
I think lane 15 it was.
Oh, yes, I see it. Lane 1 false start assessed to Jack.
Honestly, if this is the last event, 1 false start, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. They say, but they detect the wheel jumping before the word is given to go, and the system will pull that back as a false start. Mm-hmm. That indicates we have some tension in the air. These guys are revving, chomping on the bit, ready to go. They're going to have to let those wheels stop again.
Oh, man. Attention. And they are off. Here we are.
Wow, look at this. I don't know what to. I
This
don't
is
know
gonna
who's
be a
who as
fast
far
one,
as we
Chris.
got. We're going to have to see the hierarchy get built here.
All right.
In the
Now, I'm anticipating that we're going to see some seriously fast times from the under 19 folks out here. That is when a lot of these guys are coming into like their freshman year of college, and they really start hitting that college level training. But the 17s are not to be underestimated. I want to point out Murphy Bradley, who's cruising at a 135 out of that first 200 meters at a 36.
And I was reading in bios, Aiden Ionescu from Fordham Prep, or Iona Prep, excuse me. He won it last year for the U19 or U17. Was it U17 or U? One of those, I should know. But he is he's obviously out in front here. And holding 136s. Let's see. Yeah, he seems to.
If he can hold on to that, that's going to be, I think, our first sub 630 of the day.
This will be impressive. And on his tail, Tom Harrison, who I know lives in New York, and he is a
force to be reckoned with. We're going to see Dylan Oberst, who is a lightweight. He's sitting in third place. He is a lightweight and going to Yale next year. And he was in part of our challenge in January. He rode some 700 plus meters for the month of January. So he has his aerobic base. Don't neglect Dylan here. He is sitting stalking them.
Good for Dylan.
And he's a lightweight. Aiden, I believe, is a heavyweight. And right there, he's settling into 141s, 140.
You can see Dylan coming through with that lightweight race plan, chilling at a 33, 34.
And
that
I believe Dylan went inside
2K, I think.
630 last year. He made it just over
him.
632, perhaps. But again, a lightweight, former swimmer.
Yeah, that's a solid end of high school lightweight boy recruiting time right there.
Well, Yale didn't.
That'll give you some
Didn't ignore
options.
him, and that's a good rowing program up there that he will be part of.
Oh yeah, Yale crew. Fantastic.
Tom Harrison.
Good for
Thomas, nice job. He's one of our Pelham rowers, and look, putting the heat on Aiden Ionesco.
Oh, he is in the mix right there, within 2 meters of Aiden. It is a tough race for the top 3, but we are seeing our second wave moving through, led by Timothy Lockwood from PCRA, cruising at a 142. He is a U17 lightweight and just absolutely leading the pack. Good for you, Tim.
This is a great race going on. Those U17, that is very impressive.
Absolutely, and it's actually a pretty interesting distribution between our lightweight and our open U19 men, where we have lane 11, 13, and 10. Mateo, Jonathan, and Sean are battling it out with Henry, Michael, and Jack. We are looking at some pretty comparable stroke rates too. Obviously, the lightweight guys are a little higher on average, but it is anybody's race here.
And Henry Knapp, I'm proud to say, kind of helped. His mom rode with the Masters, and he's a former cross-country runner. Great kid.
Oh, awesome.
Quiet, deadly. He is going to do it. Look at him go. Henry, I'm so proud of you. You're in the hunt here and running it strong with Michael Chapman and Jack Corliss.
Got to respect those cross-country guys. I started as one of them myself.
Yeah. He's he took it up later in high school here. He's a senior, and he's going to college next year. I don't know where he's going to go, but he's going to be a great addition to any rowing team he gets on.
All right. We're coming into 750 meters right here. This is kind of entering that do or die zone that we're talking about. Wow. These boys are doing everything that they can to try to get to that 500-meter line so that they can close their eyes for the 250.
This is so good. And Aiden Ionesco is sitting there. He has fallen back a little bit on these guys, but he's right in the hunt with Thomas Harrison and Dylan Oberst. And boy, I got to say here,
wow, Dylan, good for you, man.
These guys, leaders make champions. Both Thomas Harrison and Dylan were our leaders on our board for the January challenge. They did massive amount of meters.
Yeah, you mentioned 700K.
They're doing 20 to 30K a day on the machine. I don't know what their splits are, but they built that base up. Here they come into the last quarter. And it is paying dividends.
Their parents are buying groceries for those boys. They are eating a lot.
This is, here's proof of meters makes champions. These guys are going, and Dylan is continuing to hold his 136 and this is awesome. I wish I could be seeing this live. They are really closing the deal.
Wow.
And the third place, Aiden is Ionesco right there, but Thomas
he's
Harrison
it up. He's
on
up at
Dylan.
37. He is struggling, but he is going to come through, I think, still in
the fourth place.
3.
This fourth place battle going on between Henry, Jack, and Michael. All three
Tim
from
up there
different
too.
clubs. Yeah, and Tim up on top. This is a battle.
Wow.
Hard to call out.
Oh, man, and we have Dylan showing his lightweight roots right there at a 39 for the last 250 meters.
Okay, Thomas closing the deal on him, known
Let's go,
as Moose. Let's see if Moose can lean on it. He is closing the deal. He lives across the street, by the way, from some other people I know, Adam Spence, who raced early in Masters. They live right next door to each other in the city, and Moose delivering with his heavyweight U19 body there. But can Dylan,
Dylan is
a lightweight,
slamming at a 40 and a 135.
upstage?
Oh, he's going for a 6. Oh, he's
He's
just going to miss the 620.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
624. That is
Nice,
what a
Chuck.
Yale recruit looks like,
Right.
folks.
Yeah. And look at that.
629,
6 by
Two
Moose.
sub 630 times
Here
here.
comes Aiden Ionesco taking that third place position.
There
Boom,
we
but not
go,
far
Aiden.
behind is Timothy Lockwood. Wow,
Timothy,
642.
wow. And then
Oh,
we
so
have
impressive.
Our second wave coming through. Very impressive times. A lot of sub 650s. We love to see that.
Yeah. Henry Knapp, 650. I'm proud. Really, that's incredible. I'm
All
so
right.
happy.
And here are our under 17s. This is the next generation that we're looking at here
Yep.
coming through. And they are fighting. James, Charles, and Connor. Keep it up, boys.
So good.
These
Look
are
at
our
that.
young lightweights.
Right to the wire, fighting for it. That's it. Just post your time.
Excellent. Good
All
job.
good.
Good job.
This bodes well for on-the-water rowing in the spring. All these strong, conditioned bodies. Yeah.
This
And
is
the
why
rest-
this is why we do the winter.
Yeah.
Earn the spring.
7:30s. This is nothing to sneeze at. These are great times. 7:30. Coming home, closing it out.
Good racing all around here.
Yeah, and here comes Liam Morley, not to be ignored.
There we go, Liam.
Stepped up, pulled up a seat. Good. From Don Bosco Prep over in New Jersey. This was, I participated in this
stuff.
regatta just to see how these virtual races are run. They ran a great regatta in the end of January called the Ironman Erg Classic. I highly recommend that for anybody. You know, in this virtual world, you can do it from anywhere in the world. And there he is, Liam.
Good
Congratulations.
job, Liam.
Good job.
Well done.
Nice, beautiful race.
Great day of racing today, Chris.
I'll tell you.
Went off without a hitch. I was waiting to say that. We didn't jinx it, I hope.
No.
Right.
Very
Wow, just want to shout
congratulations.
out again. Dylan, what an incredible, a 136 flat, which should bring him to a 624 flat. Really a fantastic time. And it looks like the meters paid off for Dylan and Moose.
Racers, thank you. All these guys here, thank you. And all the other racers, the Masters earlier, the late women, the Coxsons, everybody for attending and paying attention to this regatta.
This event's all
Great.
about you guys.
Great performances all the way across the board. We will be sending out medals and awards to the winners, and those will be coming in the mail to be determined. And but thank you all for attending. I was glad to have Eric here, Davand, who is a new rower, teacher in New York,
Mhm.
not new rower, but new graduate rower, and he to have him and have his expertise on this broadcast that we have here from the studio in Pelham.
It's a lot of fun, Chris. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, I wish we could keep doing it. There are no more races. This is
They fly by when you can stack them like this.
yeah.
All right, well,
So-
folks, we want to say goodbye. We want to wish you a lovely Valentine's Day that's coming up tomorrow, and everybody have a fantastic weekend.
Yes, exactly. Goodbye. Thank you
All right.
for coming to our broadcast. Our studio manager, is going to close the deal.
We did it.